Hello, everyone. My name is Neil Patel, and today is a really exciting webinar. It's a little bit different than what we normally do because we normally talk about SEO strategies or paid advertising tactics or data and analytics and social media marketing and all that kind of good stuff. And we're going to be talking about some of that stuff today. But as you guys know, the world is changing, and AI has caused a lot of it. And we're not here to talk about, oh, look at ChatGPT and the latest, upgrade to their LLM. We're here to talk about how there's this new thing going on because of AI. We're having a lot of bots crawl websites. So much so, where the first time in history, now the majority of website traffic is bots versus humans. So today we're going to be breaking down how 51% of your website traffic is now bots and how to adjust to a bot-first marketing world. And the reason this is important is, unlike 5 years ago, in today's world and in today's reality, bots can affect your revenue, not just by traffic, but by actual purchases. So my name is Neil Patel. I'm the co-founder of NP Digital. We're a global advertising agency. And today I have the privilege of having Adam with me and Cal as well from our team. Adam, do you want to give a quick introduction of yourself? And then Cal, you can go right after.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Neil. Hi, everyone. My name's Adam Balestone. I've been in SEO for about 15 years. Started off working for an independent bike brand and later moved into the distribution side of things before going agency side.
Thanks, Adam. My name's Cal Gruning. 2026 will be my 5th year with NP Digital and my 10th in the SEO space. I'm based out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and I really enjoy skiing and hiking.
Yeah, and a random story before we dive in. Cal and I were talking beforehand because I used to live in Las Vegas, and he's like, "Yeah, I haven't experienced a scorpion yet." No joke. One time I was sleeping in bed, waking up, and there was a scorpion right on top of the ceiling. Not the best thing to wake up to.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. So at NP Digital, we have 1,000+ people. We're in 28+ countries. We work with a lot of big brands. We also work with startups and SMBs and mid-sized businesses as well. We have a lot of awards because the tactics and strategies that we're using are working. We already started working on bot-first marketing when it comes to our clients. And today we want to break down how you can replicate some of those strategies yourself. Now, of course, if you don't want to replicate them and you just want another company to do it for you, you can just take out your phone, pull up your camera, scan that QR code, and it'll take you to NP Digital where you can just fill in your information, and we're happy to assist you. Jump on a call. It doesn't cost you anything. We can break down things that we would change and adjust if we're running your marketing or helping and working with your existing team, because with a lot of our clients, they already have existing marketing teams internally, or you can just pull up your browser and just go to npdigital.com. All right. So in today's world, there's a few metrics that are driving the new reality. And there's two of them. The first is, and we already discussed this, how 51% of all website traffic is now bots. We expect that number to also increase over time, not decrease. And 60 to 65% of searches end with no clicks. Now, those are very two important things, because just because a lot of your traffic is now coming from bots and just because you're ranking and not getting clicks, it doesn't mean you can't generate revenue. There's no excuse for not growing your overall top line numbers. So let's first dive into the state of bot first internet before we go into the tactics and strategies. Well, first off, a lot of your analytics are lying. Your traffic may look fine, but it's not as much humans as it used to be. Your rankings could look stable, but you may be seeing your clicks are going down even though your impressions are high. And your performance may still feel a little bit off. And that's for a variety of different reasons, such as bots are inflating sessions, they're messing up your conversion rates, and your conversion rates are dropping when in reality, when you look at it from a human to conversion standpoint, your conversion rates may be strong. And of course, bots are a growing percentage of your overall traffic. And when we look at it historically from 21 to 25, you got 51%. In 2026, we're predicting bot traffic will be roughly 54%. But even if you don't go with that number, just think about it for a minute. for every 100 visits you have on your website, 51 aren't human. It's kind of crazy to think about, right? This is the first time in a decade that we've seen bot traffic exceed human traffic. And I believe as you start fast forwarding maybe 10 plus years from now, you'll start looking at numbers like 70+% are bot traffic. But not all bots are the same. There's good bots, there's bad bots, and of course, there's humans. And when you think about that 51% number, majority are bad bots. So when you think about your traffic perspective, 14% is good bots, 49% are humans. What you're essentially doing is optimizing for that 63%. That 63% of total of your traffic, right? That's the stuff that can drive more revenue. The 37%, a lot of that is just junk and scrapers and people who are trying to create fraud or mess up your business. And when I say scrapers, I'm not talking about Google or ChatGPT scraping you, because when they're scraping some of your content and using it for their index, they're either citing you or linking to you, which can help not only your brand visibility, but it can also help your overall traffic and conversions in the long run. So the reason I want to show up this slide is you can't just block all bots. That's what a lot of companies are assuming. That would be a disaster if you go that route. And where bots really distort marketing metrics is when we look at overall conversion rate. So if you look at the bar graph on the left, when you look at total traffic, it's 62%, right? Or 62% for bounce rate. Conversion rate is 0.96%. And you see the total sessions of 19 million. When we remove bots, you're seeing total sessions of 10 million. The bounce rate goes down to 47% and conversion rate goes to 1.7. That's a big difference. It just shows that your sessions may be higher than what's really there. Your bounce rate looks worse than what's really happening. And your conversion rates are much low or look lower than what's the real reality. So you don't want to just jump to conclusions based on what you see there. So why does this matter to marketers? Well, bots just aren't visiting. Now they are not only the first touch point for potential customers, but they themselves can also be customers and start buying from you. And your SEO metrics are becoming disconnected from business outcomes. Your ad spend is partly going to bots, and there could be some fraud there. So a lot of people are saying, hey, a lot of things are messed up. What do we do? Now, today we want to break down what you should be doing and how you should adapt. So let's dive right in.
Thanks, Neil. So focusing on those good bots, let's talk about how they are ultimately making decisions for customers. So according to BrightEdge, AI agents now account for about 33% of all organic search activity, which is completely crazy. While Google handles significantly more searches daily at 14 billion, that's really only looking at the short term. Taking a look at the graph on the right here, ChatGPT hit 1 billion daily searches 9 years, almost a decade faster than Google. This kind of exponential growth can't be ignored. And if the current trends continue, ChatGPT will be at 14 billion searches per day in just 4 more years. So really, really can't afford to ignore this exponential growth. So with 14 billion daily searches on the horizon for just one of the myriad of LLMs available to users, who's really driving discovery now? It's still traditional search, thankfully. It just gets upgraded. So while AI agents, social media, and video are influencing customers earlier in that conversion funnel, traditional search still matters here. And we'll show you why throughout the rest of our conversation today. You may have seen the word agentic begin to be used more often, especially with the recent announcement of Google's Universal Commerce Protocol. All agentic means here, if that's a new word for you, is how well an AI agent can act on its own when given a certain task. So in this case, we're examining how well it can complete a transaction, and spoiler alert, it's very, very good and getting better. Bain predicts that agentic commerce can reach as much as $500 billion by 2030, which represents roughly 25% of all online retail. Couple this with 60% of US consumers expecting to use AI shopping agents within the next year. So more than half of all of your users are expecting to buy something directly from an AI agent sometime this or next year. Optimizing for bots is going to be absolutely crucial. So who are some of the key players that are shaping this new agentic landscape that we need to pay attention to? Walmart was very quick on the draw to enable purchases directly within ChatGPT. Not very surprising coming from the company that was also one of the first to offer same-day drone deliveries at your doorstep. Pretty crazy there. Amazon now has a buy it for me feature, which essentially is if Amazon, for whatever reason, doesn't carry the specific item that you're looking for, Amazon's AI is going to find that particular item wherever else it exists on the internet and complete that transaction for you. Even companies like Klarna and Instacart are leveraging super agents, which aggregate across multiple retailers here. So Catherine Black from Kearney says that the real battle for your shopping isn't Walmart versus Target. It's actually OpenAI versus Google versus Klarna. These are the platforms that are best positioned to deliver what consumers want: speed, price, and trust. So how can we, the marketers, ensure that we capture that speed and trust with our work? So this leads nicely into our first audience question of the day from Arshia. Thank you very much. Arshia asks, are traditional SEO strategies still effective in a bot-first world, or do they need redefinition? So the short answer is yes, traditional strategies still work. If you were to visualize a Venn diagram of traditional SEO strategies on the left here and AI search strategies on the right, that Venn diagram would be 99% overlapping. That's how I like to explain it to clients. Traditional strategies like having, expert, authoritative, trustworthy, helpful content is still huge. AI bots love structured data, aka schema, highlighting key areas of your site just like search engine bots do. And if we scale it back even further, get down to the absolute basics, can AI bots find your content and engage with it as well as search engines can? These are foundational strategies that have been the SEO backbone for many years, essentially as long as the profession has existed, and they still matter for AI search too. So how can we ensure our site content is available for our users for users to find in AI results? The quality of our information is key. Is it clear? Is it structured? Wink, wink. Is it verified and consistent? Is it easily summarizable? These are all signals that AI agents use to verify that quality of the content. One of the efficient ways to hit those signals is through structured data, otherwise known as schema markup. I harp on schema markup almost daily now to clients. If you're not already using it, now is the time. And if you currently are running several schema types on your site, that's great. Double check to make sure that they're verifiable. So all of the winners in the LLM space use structured data to have AI agents better understand their website. Very, very crucial part of our strategy here. So let's define what that optimization framework looks like in practice. So your brand and its strengths still matter a ton. But how clear and consistent your messaging is ultimately what decides that AI inclusion. It carries the last half that ultimately gets us over the goal. Elements like images, shipping options, and price if you're e-commerce, and price clarity all need to be consistent across every single platform. So think, your website, YouTube, any social media that you have. We need to make sure that all of those elements are consistent on every channel, because AI is looking at all of it, and if it determines that there's discrepancies between one of those two channels, then we run the risk of AI not trusting us anymore, and we're all about earning that trust. So what do brands that capture that AI attention do differently from the ones that are getting ignored? Firstly, these brands prioritize designing systems for both humans and bots. So I'll repeat that again. We are optimizing systems for humans and bots, the good ones. So think, UI, UX stuff, content, images, those are all for the human side, right? But then there's this back end that we need to consider too, where, structured data, other technical discoverability signals, even, a fringe new emerging case like an LLMs.txt file, we need to build those for bots too, that our human users aren't ever going to see. They also want to measure influence and not just traffic. So the conversion funnel is hardly linear these days, and they know that KPIs, the winners know that KPIs are a lot more than just raw traffic numbers. Overly caring about traffic and other vanity metrics like that, and also being reactive instead of proactive, ultimately separates the winners from the losers in this space. So as digital marketers, we need to shift our thinking to optimizing for systems that are actually making decisions and not just systems that show algorithmed results, right? So this means that having and acting on good data now has never been more critical. Adam, I'll pass it to you.
Thanks, Cal. Yeah, so a lot's been said about the death of the internet and the zero-click evolution or revolution. But what's really going on is that those clicks, although the traffic may be disappearing, it's being reallocated. So 60 to 65% of Google searches are now ending without a click. And on mobile, 75% of the searches are zero-click. So when we talk about the rise of AI agents, it's important to understand the scale and speed as well. So this has happened really quickly with around a 6,900% increase in AI agents in 2025. And what's really important to mention there is that's so fast that it's not just a difference in how the internet is evolving. It's a fundamental shift in how the internet is accessed by both people and users. The LLMs are becoming the entry point or the surface for them. And even more telling is the actual type of traffic as well. So that AI-specific traffic is usually directed by a user action. So it's an agent that's been given an explicit purpose rather than just broadly indexing the content like search engine crawlers used to. And that's increased by more than 15 times in 2025 alone. So this is adding an additional layer to search. We now have AI overviews that appear in 13% of queries. That's doubled in the last 2 months. And AI mode, Google's conversational interface, replacing traditional searches. Featured snippets, knowledge panels that have existed for a while are now taking up a lot of that real estate at the top of the page. So with this additional layer, who's now driving discovery? Is it humans that are shifting from navigation to delegation? What's changing here is not just how people search, but it's how the work that needs to be done is not being done by a person anymore, but it's being delegated to their agents. Instead of a user running multiple searches and having several tabs open, synthesizing that information for themselves, the agents are now retrieving it, ingesting that content and combining it into a single answer or response in the LLM. And so you can think about the response that you see inside an LLM as being a collapsing of the SERPs for multiple queries into a single answer that's being synthesized. And more importantly, these agentic interactions aren't neutral. They're informational in nature, they skew heavily commercial. With a lot of them, about 85% are tied to product or service evaluation, comparison, and purchase decisions. So when we look at how these AI agents are deciding what to recommend, it's useful to stop thinking about them as shoppers, like a human standing in a shop or browsing your catalog or looking on your website. That we're not scanning shelves anymore. We're losing, the visual appeal, the brand narrative, the marketing fluff. Although it's a sci-fi trope, the agents really don't deal well with that emotive language. What they're really looking for is more akin to an analyst. They're reviewing the evidence that's provided. So even what used to be considered good SEO copy is now having to evolve to provide this evaluation layer, the sources that help the agent make a decision for the user and address the user's query. And one of the platforms that demonstrates this really well is Perplexity. They consistently prioritize sources that demonstrate, synthesize the explanation, and provide that comparative analysis rather than pages that just aggregate facts or restate what others have already said. So first-party data can really help when it comes to the engines like Perplexity to increase that citation share. And really what we're saying is that depth matters more than volume. The sources connect concepts, explain trade-offs, demonstrate their domain expertise. They're the ones that are being rewarded because they can help reduce the model's uncertainty and help it to produce that confident answer that it's looking to give the end user. So the practical takeaway is that AI agents really favor the content that reads like it was written by a subject matter expert. That quiet authority, the clear reasoning and analytical structure outperform loud optimization tactics designed purely to attract clicks. And this was something that was built into Google by default. You know, Google's existing ranking systems already rewarded some of this activity, and that real-time web retrieval and source eligibility rules have really shaped this foundation for it to reward this kind of content. So one of the questions that we have from our audience was, how does a bot first world change the idea of a traditional funnel? And what stages of the buyer journey are bots most active in today? And really what my thinking around this is that what's happened is that the funnel has actually been condensed or collapsed, and the bots are most active in the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel stages. So whilst awareness may still be driven and human-led, once they delegate that task to an agent, the agent is condensing and synthesizing all of the information needed to make a decision and presenting it back to the user as a single condensed answer.
Thanks, Adam. So let's shift gears, pun intended, into how we can begin optimizing for more than just our own website. So the SEO acronym may be getting an upgrade shortly, and luckily for us, the actual letters may not have to change at all. So digital marketers of all people don't need another acronym to add to our daily vocabulary. At least I certainly don't. So search everywhere means we're not just optimizing for search engines anymore. We're targeting an entire ecosystem of AI agents. Large businesses, as we've talked about earlier with Walmart, Amazon, etc., are trying to cast the widest net in order to be the first at the plate, the first to get an opportunity to capture this new market. So where is this discovery actually taking place here? Traditional search still drives discovery through high rankings and placement on the SERP, but LLMs get far more decisive because in most cases, it only gives you one direct answer. Think about any time that you've used ChatGPT recently. It may have given you, 1, 2, or 3 other options further down in its response, but it tries to give you one solid answer first that you can stick with. You can earn that one spot through making sure the content for the LLM pulls from is clear, credible, and highly referenceable, as we've discussed a little bit earlier. That clarity also benefits discoverability in AI shopping agents. So all of that new agentic commerce that we talked about, make sure that it's as frictionless and automated of a research and buying process as possible. This is only good things for your product if you're selling e-commerce especially. So this is my main point of view in my day-to-day work. I'm a technical SEO strategist, so I live and breathe all things technical. So it's really, really important to look under the hood of your website to make sure that we enable as much AI discoverability there as possible. So if there is one thing that you take away from my portion of today's presentation, it's this, okay? AI bots cannot render JavaScript. So what this means is if your key content, like your text content, your images, anything else that is key to your SEO and organic strategy, if it's dependent on JavaScript to show on the page, it is effectively invisible to all AI agents, okay? LLMs cannot render JavaScript. So what this means is you need to make sure that key content is present in your raw HTML. And if that is a little bit too much for you, don't worry. Communicate that to your developer or whoever else manages your website. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. This is absolutely critical that all of those key elements are present in your HTML. And this has been, preached by SEOs for years now. So if you're already following SEO best practice, then there's nothing you need to worry about here. But please, please make sure that your key content, if you want to get picked up in AI and LLMs, is present in your raw HTML. We've already mentioned schema markup as a way to amplify that clarity signal even further. It's easy to parse, so AI loves to read it. Oh, if we could go back to the previous slide, please. We're not done yet. Yep, thank you. Are you following the MCP standard for AI agent integration into your external system? If that is totally unfamiliar to you, don't worry about that at all. If you want more information, you can go to modelcontextprotocol.io. And lastly here, there are...
and one quick thing,
yeah.
Think of like MCPs as like the API for the AI world.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably an easy way to like describe it, where everything can connect into one place, feeding the data, they can go and take action based off of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Neil. So yeah, lastly, LLMs.txt. This is a new emerging standard that hasn't been fully adopted yet. And the line between how much it actually improves LLM visibility is not super clear yet, but why not be ahead of the curve and create one? Another great strategy here. So we've got the technical stuff figured out now, but how about the content side? Unsurprisingly, if you lean on AI 100% to generate your content with zero human touch at all, you've already lost. So I'm sure there's a joke somewhere in there about AI not trusting its own output, but if your content isn't, unique, timely, relevant, you shouldn't expect to win either. So it's no coincidence that, according to the data that you're looking at right now, 52% of sources cited in Google's AI overviews rank somewhere between 1 and 10. So technically page 1 organically. So traditional SEO tactics are still the bread and butter winners here. So to wrap up this section, content is still king. Writing unique, helpful content is how you earn that views and attention, or earn those views and attention from both humans and bots alike, which is what we're trying to accomplish here. This isn't the time that we need to start disregarding the fundamentals. Now is the time more than ever to double down on those fundamentals.
Wonderful, thanks, Carl. So we're going to talk a little bit about one of the most recent evolutions and how paid ads are being integrated into the LLM responses that we're seeing. So we all know that a lot of money has flown into AI and LLM systems, and so far the user experience has been ad-free, and that really can't keep happening. The reality really is that platforms can't afford that anymore. The ads remain the core revenue engine for search, social, and marketplaces, and even AI-first products are introducing ads to fund at scale. So what we're seeing now is that monetization is moving directly into the AI response itself. Platforms like Google have actually started embedding the ads inside AI-generated overviews. So not like traditional search where they're appearing above or below them. They're actually being integrated inside the text that's being generated. So these ads are being selected based on the context of the AI's response, not just the user's original query.
And even ChatGPT has been integrating ads now, mainly for verticals like B2B SaaS, D2C, which is e-com, travel. There's one other category that I'm missing. I know finance is being rolled out pretty soon. And I forgot what the other categories that they're rolling out soon, but yeah. And just as a FYI, I think the minimum on ChatGPT, had to double check with our team. I think it's like something like 200 grand or 100 and something. It's somewhere around there. It's not $1 million that people are claiming.
So that's like a really important shift. It means ad eligibility is being increasingly determined by how the model understands the intent, the problem, and the solution space, rather than by keyword matching alone, like we are used to bidding on. So in practice, this pulls paid media actually closer to the same signals that used to govern organic AI visibility. So if your brand or product is not considered relevant or credible within the AI's reasoning, it's actually less likely to surface the paid ad as a placement as well. And Google's introduced a number of tools to help us manage this emerging landscape. There's AI Max, PowerPack, Ads Advisor, and the high value mode. With this tooling, the products like this are providing not just automation layers, but they actually behave like agents themselves. So these systems are taking on tasks that previously would have required some human judgment. Things such as diagnosing performance issues, reallocating budget, and even changing targeting parameters or suggesting creative. The key point is that the control has shifted. Marketers are moving from being the hands-on person that decides those factors, provides the targeting, the creative, to actually just being an orchestrator, someone who defines the constraints, objectives, and guardrails that the agent is going to handle. And that really mirrors what we're seeing elsewhere with AI as a broader picture. Humans are defining strategy, and the agents are being left to handle the mechanics. So AI is increasing the volume and speed of marketing activity. And it's also making a lot of the kind of surface level metrics that we talk about day to day, like clicks and impressions and lead counts, dramatically less meaningful because they're becoming easier to manipulate or change. And that's why we as marketers need to evolve some of the KPIs that we track and what we look at. We're hearing a lot about a marketing efficiency ratio, people tying their marketing directly to the bottom line, to revenue.
I'm on mute. All right, so let's talk about the action plan for a bot first world, and then we'll dive into some Q&A. So immediate action steps. Actually, I think I took your slides, Cal, but I could be wrong.
No, these are your slides, Neil.
All right. So immediate action spans, when you think about, what to do this week, you want to first audit your analytics. And the reason this is important is if you're not filtering bot traffic yet, you're making marketing decisions based off of inflated numbers and sometimes deflated numbers. Then the next thing you want to do is check your AI visibility. You can use tools like Ubersuggest to do this. We have an LLM feature and you can get started for free. You don't need to spend $500 a month like some of these people are charging. And you can see how you're stacking up versus the competition. This is important because this is driving quite a bit of top line revenue and conversions. The next is implement UTM tracking. When you think about UTM tracking, if you know what campaigns are specifically doing, you're going to be much better off than if you don't know what specific campaigns are doing. And then, of course, you want to review crawl settings. Are you blocking certain AI crawlers? Should you be? And usually my general rule of thumb is if you're not sure, don't block anything. Because yes, there are bad bots, but if you start blocking the good bots, you're going to start getting less traffic, less brand awareness, less visibility, and less revenue. And when you think about the short-term strategy, the next 30 to 90 days, you want to optimize for featured snippets, 40 to 6-word answers for structured data, FAQ schema. You want to align SEO, PR, and paid. We see companies having this siloed, especially the bigger organizations really silo them. If they're not communicating well with each other, you won't find the winning campaigns that you can just start taking from department to department, including things like social media as well. And it should also be different platforms communicating with each other. So if you have in social media, we see some companies having teams manage Instagram separately than LinkedIn. That's okay. Make sure they communicate and they're collaborating though. You want to also create citation-worthy content or tools. You can use tools like Lovable, or you can use Cursor or Claude Code to help you build up some free tools. They tend to get a lot more citations than original research, but either way, both formats of content work. And I recommend that you test AI-powered ad tools. There's a lot out there like Hey Parker. Hey Parker helps you generate creatives at scale, leveraging AI, and it's been pretty effective so far from what I've seen. But you want to run experiments also with things like AI Max while maintaining manual controls. Because what we found is AI Max and PMax, a little bit different, but when you think about both of them in Google's ecosystem, if you just let Google run wild, we find it doesn't work as well as having human control. When you just do everything manual, we find it doesn't work as well as leveraging AI Max and PMax. We found the winning variation is humans combined with technology, AI Max, PMax, at least for Google. And when you put them both together, we see substantially higher ROI. Now, the long-term transformation for the next 6 to 12 months, you want to build agent-ready infrastructure, then prepare for agent commerce or agentic commerce. Then you want to redefine your success metrics, and then, of course, diversify your traffic sources. You don't want to rely on any one platform. And a lot of companies these days, we need to build our own community and our own email list. Yes, but that may not always work as well as you want either. What if your communities run on Facebook or Discord and they change how things work and that affects who sees what, or Telegram or whatever it may be? Even then, I'm not saying building community is bad, but you want to do multiple channels, multiple things, including offline events and connecting in person with customers and potential customers. And when you do that, not only is your brand going to grow stronger, not only are your conversion rates going to improve because you're going to have stronger brand affinity, but what you'll find is you're less reliant on any one channel. The new KPIs for a bot-first era, well, I won't bore you with the old metrics, but we look at things like overview, visibility, and citations, how often you're getting mentioned in the LLMs, and also the sentiment. Are they mentioning you in a more positive way than your competitors? That's huge because that pushes more people towards your way versus the competition. Brand search volume growth. You can see a lot of this within Google Trends and Google Search Console. AI referral traffic and conversions, right? How much revenue are you driving from these LLMs? We're starting to see it be a decent percentage. It's not anything like 20, 30%, but even if it's in the single digit percentile, it's massive compared to how little traffic it's driving. And the cost per influence conversion. So the real opportunity in this whole bot first world is the disruption. Look, there's a lot of things that are getting displaced. And if you adapt, you're going to do much better. You should ignore that majority of bot traffic now is, or website traffic is bots. And the internet is changing and it's evolving around AI agents. And your next customer may not be a human. That's okay. And if your marketing team's telling you, hey, we're getting too many 0 clicks, SEO is not worth it, it drives a crap ton of revenue. We also see a lot of people finding out a brand through the AI overviews, not clicking, and then coming back and purchasing. And when we think about SEO or AEO or GEO or whatever you want to call it, good SEO is good GEO or even AI SEO or AEO. It's evolved. It's not identical. There are some nuances, But SEO 10 years ago is not the same as SEO today anyways. It's slowly adapted and evolved, right? But you can use whatever acronym you want. And most importantly, I really recommend that you act now. If you don't act now, you're going to start losing customers because you're not optimizing for agents. The brands bots recommend will win. And I really want to read this quote to you before we dive in to Q&A. The brands that win won't be fighting against bots. They'll be brands that bots recommend. Your job isn't to stop machines. It's to become the answers they give, right? So stop going against the grain and start going with them. If you just want us and my team here, Cal and Adam and the rest of the NPD crew to help you out, you can bust out your phone, scan that QR code, and we will end up just fill out the form and we'll end up getting in touch. We work in many different languages, many different countries, all sectors from SMB to enterprise, or you can just go to npdigital.com. N as in Neil, P as in Patel, and then digital. Funny enough, someone hit us up the other day to see if we wanted to buy np.com. And I was like, not a good fit. If it was NPD, maybe, but
Yeah, and not for that price tag either.
They want a 7 figure. What are we going to do with np.com?
I don't know. Good try though. Wow, this is crazy times we're living in. I mean, back in the day, it was all just like Google bot, and now it's like bot, good bots, bad bots. So tons of questions, and we've got a little bit of time to address them, so that's good. But Neil, if we could just take a quick step back and help to answer this one question, and it's all related to agentic commerce and how all of this stuff works. So can you give the audience just a Cliff Notes version on how bots can actually buy from us, or how are these bots actually buying from our website? If you could just give the audience just the high level overview of some of the AI agents and how that works, I think that would go a long way with
So people are just wondering, how are these bots buying?
Yep.
For companies?
Yep.
Well, it's, to be very clear, it's not bots, at least right now in today's world. What we're seeing, we're not really seeing bots go and buy from people's websites. We're seeing humans instruct the bots to go and purchase something specific for them, to go find and go purchase. That's what we're seeing right now. And I think that's going to change within 6 months to 12 months. But right now, it's very human instructed. And not all conversions are them just buying. So another example is sometimes you'll tell a bot, hey, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. Go find a company that does this and set up a call. And they'll go put in their information in one of their lead forms to try to schedule a call, right? Those are all examples of conversions that are happening in real time right now. But the big distinction here is it's not just bots going wild and doing whatever they want on their own. It's from human direction. Although on X the other day, I saw how the bots were trying to create their own community. I forgot what it was called. They changed the name. It's not Cloudbot anymore. I forgot what it's called.
Maltbook.
There you go. And but yeah, I saw that on X and it was going viral, and I was just cracking up with it.
Yeah, so that's good. We're at least for now instructing the bots as to what they should go and do.
And it's not happening as much as people think right now, but we see that changing over time.
So let's go to Cal. A lot of questions on reporting on the bots. Like, are there filters in GA, or like if I'm a website owner, like how do I determine the percentage of my bot traffic? Like, is there an easy way to determine like what that percentage is? It might not be 51%, but how does the user go about that?
Yeah, so the easy way, especially with ChatGPT, is you may have noticed that if you've done, any query searching on ChatGPT and it's giving you responses that have links to them, if you click on one of those links, you'll notice that ChatGPT automatically amends a UTM parameter on the end of each URL. So what that means is, if you're getting any kind of traffic from ChatGPT, that's going to be filtered out in your GA as that ChatGPT While we were speaking today, I double checked. Claude does not amend a UTM parameter, unfortunately. I would imagine Google's AI overviews and Google Gemini would amend that UTM or would somehow tag that particular URL as being sourced from an AI search result. But Adam or Neil, I don't know if you have any other things to add on top of here, but I know for a fact that ChatGPT amends that particular UTM code, which is trackable within your Google Analytics results. That shows exactly how much traffic you're getting from ChatGPT.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't have really anything to add, but it is spot on and true. Isn't it funny how hard they make our lives?
Yeah.
Right. Just to make it easier. So
They can give us all the data, but they're just trying to control the ecosystem so they can, have more people spend money with them.
while we have you, Cal, another one, and maybe Adam has something to say about this too, but this came up a couple of different times. What's the best, and you could like slice and dice this question a lot of different ways, but what's the best way to protect your website from competitor data scraping and fraudulent bot traffic without impacting SEO or legitimate AI and search engine crawling? Is it the llm.txt file? Like what, give the audience like the scoop as to what to do here.
Yeah, so to answer the first question, no, that wouldn't be through your llms.txt file. That is more for just instructing LLMs as to what parts of your site are going to hold that key information that we spoke about earlier. A straightforward way to tackle it is through traditionally, through your robots.txt file, your old school stuff. So you can, if you know for a fact that, this particular bot, this particular IP address, this particular whatever is hitting my site, and I know it's coming from a competitor or otherwise bad actor, you can add that disallow to that robots.txt file in the primary domain of your website. And I've said this for many, many years now. The robots.txt file is just a suggestion. It's not a command. So unless you're really, really dealing with, severe like DDoS implications, if you're being attacked like a lot and it's causing, server instability, then you would have to look at, and implementing something on the server side to protect you fully. But as far as like just protecting your own information, the robots.txt file would be my first bet.
You could also take a look at your
I think he's. Is it me?
I think the bots may have taken over his microphone, which is possible. So,
yep.
Adam, you froze up. So let's move on to a couple of other ones here.
hosting provider as well. So if there's
You're back, Adam, but you have to start all over again because we cut out.
very sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yes, so if you're on hosting like Cloudflare or similar, they have a lot of great tools for identifying truly malicious bot activity and allowing you to block it at the hosting level, so before it even reaches your server in some cases.
Very good point, and worthy add-on to what Cal said. Cloudflare does all sorts of stuff, and they were in the news the last several months. So thank you for adding that, Neil.
One thing with Cloudflare is they're really big on pushing, hey, block bots, charge to let them access. I don't recommend that. You're just saying, hey, let's turn off all our traffic. Let's make it hard to get this free organic traffic that's driving tons of revenue. Like, that's a big mistake. It'll cost you way more money. And this model is protecting Cloudflare's revenue. It's not protecting your business or your marketing.
Agreed. Neil, there was also kind of about halfway through the presentation, another sort of level set question. Can you explain, basically zero-click search, can you explain how people are buying online if there's no click? Like just explain.
Yeah, so great example, okay? And I'll give you an example for a service, and I'll give you an example for a product. So with us, there was a large corporation, billions and billions and billions more than tens of billions even in revenue annually, was doing research on a good agency to help him out in Latin America. And we came up as a suggestion with a list of other companies. All right. They didn't click on over to our website. All right. You can see some of this stuff in like AI overview, sometimes in AI mode, sometimes in ChatGPT. But for this example, it's AI overviews. And then we're pitching them. I don't know if we'll win the contract or not, but I think we're one of the last 2 or 3 remaining companies in that pitch. Right. And we'll end up finding out in like 2 months. The process takes a while. But that's an example of someone seeing us. They told someone on their team to get in touch with us. And they technically told them to get in touch with everyone on that list. And now we're pitching for it. Here's an example of a product. All right. So one of my buddies, Josh, has been doing a phenomenal job of getting healthy and losing weight. I think he's down 70 pounds. Really happy for him. He's healthier, feels better. So I'm like, go Josh, right? And Josh has a sweet tooth and loves ice cream. So what Josh was, typing in healthy ice cream machines and makers and a few variations of that. And the AI overviews recommended this Ninja ice cream or creamy. I forgot the exact name, but I know it has Ninja in there. That part was, recognizable for me. And he didn't end up buying it. But I remember we were all sitting down at lunch and he's like, I'm thinking about getting this Ninja ice cream maker thing, or Ninja Creamy, I believe it's called. He's like, it was recommended by Google, and he's talking about the AI overviews. I was like, oh, what did it look like? He's like, no, Google just recommended. I didn't really check it out much. Have any of you guys tried it? And none of us tried it. But one of my buddies, AJ, who was at that table, was like, oh, my girlfriend has it. She loves it. And she raves about it. So then he went directly onto the site, literally right then and there during lunch. I think it was like Amazon instead of the actual brand site, but he ended up buying it. He heard about it from Google, specifically, in the AI overviews. He asked his friends about it during lunch. One of our buddies said his girlfriend loves it. He then went on his phone right then and there and bought it. He either went to Amazon or the website. Either way, he made the purchase right on his phone.
Great.
And this is how the new funnels are starting to work. Everyone believes you just do a search, you click, you buy. The funnel does not work that way. People do searches. They see a brand. They go to Reddit to read reviews and to see what other people really think about the product. And they may go on social media and see if their friends are talking about it. And then they go from there.
Great story and great examples. Or like what I do a lot of times is I see a brand cited in an AI overview. I open up another tab and then I just type in the domain name. And technically there's no click because I just go directly to the website right after I saw the citation. Cal, we need to make sure, and some things never change with SEO. I remember back in the day, we used to use no script tags to stuff keywords in and we'd get these rankings like super quick. But a lot of these agents, they don't render JavaScript, and you said flat out, like, make sure that your content isn't controlled as such. Are there easy tools or plugins to where, some website owners can see, what is controlled by, like, disable JavaScript? What's the popular tool these days? It used to be, SEO Rush or whatever it was back in the day. What tools can do that?
So to disable JavaScript just on your native browser, it will be the easiest way I know how is through the Google Inspect tool. So right click on any web page and then click Inspect. And under the coverage report, you can enable JavaScript blocking. So just type .js, hit the check mark sign and reload the page. And that will show you what disabling JavaScript on your website will do. Spoiler alert, it will completely break everything. You need to have JavaScript to enable. Think of JavaScript as the functionality enabler for your website. So any like button interaction or loading of content as you scroll, all of that stuff is 100% dependent on JavaScript. So I'll try to phrase this a little bit better. You depend on JavaScript for functionality. You do not depend on JavaScript for your content. So there's three primary called front end languages that we use when discussing websites. So it's HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. HTML is your content, your hyperlinks, all the stuff that all the words that you see on a web page. JavaScript is that functionality like we talked about, and CSS is what makes it pretty, right? CSS gives it all of the nice like shapes and roundness and all of that stuff. So if your content is HTML and not JavaScript dependent, meaning that when a browser hits your website, if a JavaScript code has to execute in order for that content to populate, yes, search engines can see it. Google knows how to render JavaScript. LLMs do not know how to render JavaScript. So make sure that when you click, when you right click and hit view source, that your content is visible in that HTML file.
Good tips. Adam, we're going to go to you for probably the last one. Hopefully no connectivity issues. And if there is, then Neil, this one's for you as well. Question: wondering with the implementation of ads, will the LLMs favor or recommend sites that are advertising versus pulling the data and information directly from the website? So maybe you answer that one first, Neil. So do we think the LLMs are going to give special treatment to advertisers is essentially the question.
So I think, funny enough, Adam is frozen, or at least
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. Platforms typically don't give a favoritism towards the advertisers. And if they did that, people would lose trust with the platforms. Like you would lose trust with Google, you would lose trust with ChatGPT, and you wouldn't use the platforms as much. They need that trust to gain more viewers, more people using their product, and then a smaller percentage will click on the ads. So I highly doubt that they're going to favor advertisers in that way. And we really haven't seen that in the past. And I think they're going to copy the playbooks that everyone else did. If you look at the people who are running ads, like at ChatGPT, they're a lot of the same people who came from Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. And some of them from Google as well. Like, I think they're going to replicate the same playbook.
Yeah, and we do know through decades of experience that visibility in both the paid and organic ads definitely creates a synergy, which is beneficial to the advertiser. So
but we haven't seen organic results drive better paid and paid results drive better organic. I'm talking about from a platform perspective. We do see it drive better results when the teams collaborate and say, this is what's working really well on SEO. We should test this out for paid. Or the paid team being like, this is what's working out really well for paid. We should go after these keywords and this type of content and these type of landing pages for organic, because we've seen the conversion rates be much higher. Totally. That type of collaboration within company, we've seen work, but we haven't seen the platforms play favoritism because you're spending money.
Well said. And
well,
right on time.
Thank you guys very much. If you guys want to work with us, check us out at npdigital.com. We hope we can work with you. It doesn't matter what country, what size business you are. We'd love to drive you more results in this bot first marketing world. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.